Hello, everyone, and welcome to my talk on how we can bring our project, Open My Project, to a more community-centered approach. So, you are all here because you know exactly what Open My Project does, so I won't waste any time explaining it, but I will offer a brief recap of who are we as of now. As you know, we use the benevolent dictator type of governance. You can see in the bottom right, our founder, Ben E. Valent Dictator. He does a lot of work for our project. He sets the visions, technical decisions, he finally approves and rejects PRs, he handles disputes, he does a release schedule, a project map, he overrides our maintainers or core contributors if needed. He does a lot, but he makes the project run as he wants it to. Then we have our few core contributors. They review pull requests, write pull requests, implement major features, maintain subsystems, and mentor new contributors. They do a lot of the work as well. And lastly, we have our community members who can submit issues and suggest features. Now, we started the benevolent dictator model related to how Linus Torvald did for Linux, but there are reasons to keep it and reasons to move away from it. So there are some good things about this model. You've got fast decisions, you've got an easy start, and, well, those are the only two really good things. But there's a lot of negatives. You've got limited community influence. It feels a bit exclusive. There's a single point of failure around our founder. There's a lack of transparency. There's a bottleneck to making decisions. There's a lot of weaknesses that we want to improve on. So what do we want to be? We want to become more community focused. And how are we going to do this? Well, also, for some reason, I think I didn't start the recording. No, I started the recording. That would have been really funny if I never started this recording and I was just here talking to myself. But I'm not here talking to myself. I'm making the presentation to everyone who's watching on behalf of Open My Project. We want all the responsibilities to be balanced amongst all our users. We want it to be more inclusive, more community focused, and more transparent. So, these are some things we want. We want to be collaborative. We want to be participatory. We want to be community driven. So, what are our options to achieve this? I have done some research on 6 common governance models for repositories, and I've listed out their inclusivity, their transparency, their governance speed, and their scalability. And if you look at inclusivity and transparency, we see a couple strong options. We could do electoral, we could do foundation-backed, we could do self-appointing, but what did we decide to do? We decided to do a self-appointed community. Why did we decide this? Well, first, it's inclusive. Anyone who wants to be a part, all they have to do is volunteer and self-appoint. Second, it's transparent. By making committees and governance documents on all the different committees, we can have it be clear what is needed to contribute and to join. And third, on community, we are going to work with our community to decide what committees are needed, and we're going to let anyone join, anyone learn, and reach our goals of a more community-focused team. So, what does this timeline look like? And I'm not talking about like timeline, Doctor Strange, seeing all the different alternate realities. I'm talking about what do we need to do. First, we need to have everyone know this shift is happening. We'll send out messages on our issue tracker, on our README, and channel everyone to our Discord. In this Discord, we will share that we're making this change and start to ask community members, all right, what committees should we make? What should each committee do? So the next major milestone is that people begin voting on what committees should exist and what they should do. Third milestone, we put those committees into action. We put a lead person in every committee and make sure there's people to work on things within it. And after that, there's no other major milestone, just keeping the program running. So what do communications look like? Well, we have the issue tracker in GitHub that users can report their issues on, and you can use as finding something you want to contribute or work on. There's the Discord, where we can all talk together and all the communities can discuss. There will be weekly meetings within each community, and then a monthly meeting between all the communities. So weekly, it'll be the committee lead and anyone who wants to be a part of that committee, and they'll all say what they've done for the week and what they're doing next week. And then monthly, all the team leads from every committee will meet, and they will update on what all is happening throughout all the project. And then there's also an email newsletter. This goes out monthly right after the meeting. If anyone would like to quickly know everything that's happened within the project in a month, well, then maybe the newsletter is for you. So, this is an example of what a committee vote would look like. Say we have the question, should we switch our buttons to be colorblind friendly? And four members say yes, but one colorblind phobic member says no. Well, since we do majority votes, it gets approved, and you can now start doing a colorblind friendly mode. More voices get heard this way, it's more inclusive, and it's more focused to what the community wants, not just one person. As much as I love Ben E, it's time to go to community. And here are some example committees. The committees we actually choose will be based on what people vote as needed, but we could make things like a core development team who handles a brunt of making sure the project exists without bugs and has releases. Documentation, make sure each committee has friendly documentations and tutorial. Community, manage the Discord. Yada yada. Um, I could read them. Governance and policy ensures that each committee has governed documents and handles voting and enforces the rules if they're broken. QA writes testing and tries to break things to find bugs, handles GitHub actions. UI UX runs user studies on UI UX, writes issues to improve it. Grant writing researches and writes grants for the project. Bug fixes solves low-level issues for the project. Good for newcomers. Now, these aren't going to be the official committees, but they are good options to think about when submitting your votes on where this project should go. Anyways, that's all. If you'd like to join our Discord, feel free to scan the QR code and join. Anyways, I look forward to taking OpenMy project to a better open source software future with more community, more inclusivity, and more transparency. Speaking of, if you'd like to read that transparency, you can find it in the Documents tab in our Discord. Thank you.